Singapore. Gotta get up. The Big Show on Kiss 92. Gotta get up.
You're not up if you're rolling around right now. Good. And you tuned into us. Very good. It is Thursday's edition of The Big Show and The Big Show TV, and that's why we have the man himself in the studio. He is from Korea Agility International. He is our career strategist. He is Adrian Choo. Good morning, Adrian.
Good morning, Dan. Good morning, everyone, and welcome back.
Oh,
FD.
thank you.
I didn't even realize he was away.
No.
Yeah.
Wow, did you miss him much?
Yeah, but it did feel like he was away for
A long
more
time.
than a week.
Yeah, we missed you.
It was only a week, though.
It was only a week.
was too short,
And you know
though,
what,
the holiday.
Adrian? You're coming in just in time. It's the long weekend.
Yes.
We have to work, but it's a long weekend for everybody else.
Yeah, I know. It's so lovely. I mean, and I understand there's another long weekend coming up as well.
Oh, when?
Is that really?
I don't know.
That's typical Singaporean, you know.
Hari Raya Puasa, right?
I think
No,
so.
that's in the middle of
That's
the
middle
week.
of the week.
Middle of the week. Oh,
But it's so funny. This is so typically Singaporean. Our long weekend hasn't even happened, and we're trying to plan our next long weekend.
Yeah.
Not me.
You know, you haven't had breakfast yet, and you're like, "What's for lunch?" It's very Singaporean, though. Everyone-
it is.
I'm thinking about work only.
Oh, okay.
Oh, wow.
All the time.
Workaholic.
So
Oh, wow.
you see, we have a career strategist here. So
Right.
what do you think about employees like me? Thinking about work all the
Dream
time.
employees.
Yeah.
Just for the company.
You're the only one in existence.
No, because you love the work you do. So for you, that's why you're thinking about, no, what can I do tomorrow? What can we talk about tomorrow?
Always thinking about how we can make more money for the company.
Yeah.
How? What kind of an employee am I?
Also good company.
Dream
good.
employee. Employee of the month.
Thank
employee
you.
of the year.
Yeah.
So,
Wow.
Is your assess-
Oh yeah!
Is your renewal of contract coming up or something? Is
I signed on for life.
oh dear, your soul, everything is
everything.
gone. Signed everything.
Okay, so today we're talking about a type of inflation.
yeah, actually.
Not monetary, right?
Wait, are we really talking about inflation
Yeah, we
today?
are.
Type
Yeah.
of inflation.
Type of inflation. Okay,
Yeah,
tell us more.
It's about job title inflation. And there was a study that was done recently, and it showed that in Singapore, they went through all the job titles all the jobs that were open for hiring, and they found that up to 24% of the jobs had the word manager or director or VP in them.
Or executive or something.
Yeah,
Okay.
very senior sounding roles. And when you look through the job description, it wasn't really that senior. So it's just like as though titles were being given out as a like Oprah Winfrey.
Like candy.
You win the title. You get a title.
It's Christmas.
It's Christmas.
So
I
what?
guess manager is okay because manager is very common, but when you mention VP or director,
director.
that's more of a big deal if it's just being given out like that.
Yeah.
And that's why today we wanted to talk about that, because manager, what is a manager?
You manage people.
Yeah, the old
And-
thinking is
yeah.
to manage people. But what if I just manage 2 customers? So am I a manager?
But you
or
see,
manage one
that
customer?
a lot of people think that yes, I have only 3 clients, but I manage them.
Yeah, so therefore I'm a
So
manager.
therefore, I should be a manager.
Okay,
Yeah.
so in your context, what should it be instead? Like, what were the words that were used before? Because I can't think of anything else.
So traditionally, you're a manager if you manage a team.
Okay.
And some European companies especially, if you don't manage a team, you're not going to get the manager title. Even if you're really senior, you get something like senior market strategist,
Oh,
Yeah.
right. Okay.
or market advisor or tax advisor. Until you're managing a team, you don't get the title of manager. But some American companies, they everyone's a manager, everyone's a
A VP.
or even the banks, everyone's
Yeah.
an AVP there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
everybody's
What does
an
it mean?
AVP, and that only means that they had one subdivision.
Because
But I'm AVP.
they create so many of these divisions that they need someone to be a VP
or
of
you may
an
not even be
AVP.
managing a team. You might just be sitting at a desk, facing customers at a branch,
Yeah.
Oh,
and your title is AVP.
Yeah.
AVP of front desk. AVP of people. Okay.
Okay.
So what does it mean? So let's talk about it.
So you're saying some people actually they're not managers, they're actually just mangers. Like.
Mangers.
Anyway, let's continue to talk to Adrian on the Big Show TV. Benson Boone is next. This is Beautiful Things. This is the grandson of Pat Boone.
Oh, stop
Ladies and
it. Stop trying to
lucky! I
relate
thought you were
everybody-
going to
oh my
say
God.
Daniel Boone.
Check
Daniel
out this
Boone.
song. It is a beautiful song.
No, I've got to say that we're talking about this title inflation, right? I've got to say that I've run into people who've gone, my previous job I was VP of something, and suddenly I feel that I've got to test him. Were you worthy of that title?
You would
You know what
ask
I mean?
that question?
Yeah, because when you no, I don't ask that question,
Yeah,
but
but
I
you
start
think
to
it,
test. I
yeah.
start to think it because you're giving these people these titles, and I don't know how many bosses realize that you're putting a hell of a lot more pressure on these people by giving them these titles.
Yeah, and also and especially when the person is really young,
Yeah,
young looking.
yeah.
Yeah. So I once met an individual who was 32 years old, and he had an SVP title.
Oh,
Senior Vice President. Wow.
Right. Yeah, and he didn't have the knowledge or the depth. I just knew and it was not some small little $2 company he bought. He made his own on his own. You know, this was a company, a pretty big organization, and I don't know. I find number one is I think that's title inflation because he definitely wasn't up to that level when I was talking to him. But then the next thing I'm wondering is, does it help or hurt your career? On one hand, it helps your career because then you show that you're a big title guy. But on the other hand, what's your next one? What are you going to be?
Right.
CEO?
Is
like
senior-
I mentioned earlier, 32 SVP CEO for sure he gets the girls.
Yeah, but is senior
That
VP
might be
is
the most
above
important thing.
Senior VP is
They
above
also-
VP,
at
right?
karaoke lounges.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe that's why they want to have those inflated cars. Sorry, you were saying?
Senior VP is above VP, is it?
Yes.
It is, right? And so that means he would have had to be VP before and then AVP before, or just straight jump to SVP.
I have no idea, you see. That's
But
why.
does that need to happen?
Technically, yes.
The climb.
Technically, there is a certain climb. But sometimes if I want to entice the person to join my company, I say, okay, I'll give you a SVP title.
Oh.
So it's just like handed out like candy, like what we were saying.
But it's
earlier.
very attractive though.
It is attractive.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
It's
is.
like, what? SVP?
But is it
It's
necessary
imaging.
though? Is
It's
it necessary?
Imaging.
Hmm.
It's
But then
imaging.
you also ask the question, so am I going to be paid?
Same.
Equivalent.
More.
might be the same. So some companies, they would give you an inflated title, but it's
A deflated
a
salary.
deflated salary.
Wow.
It's the same salary.
Same salary but higher title. So I can't pay you more, but I give you a better sounding title.
But it's not so
Keep
bad.
you
lah.
happy.
It's better than I'll give you this title, but I'll pay you less than what you used to get. I don't think people can stomach getting paid less than what they
Yeah.
they
You're right,
used to
you're
get, right?
So it's gone a bit crazy. Yeah. So, and I was thinking about this talk about inflated job titles, and I remember what your title was. Supreme Leader.
Oh, I remember those
Inflated,
days.
very inflated.
Yeah,
Yes.
Sean gave me that title.
Long gone.
Supreme
It was on your
Leader.
name card, right?
Huh?
It was on your
Yes.
name
I
card.
put up
Yeah,
I-
it was so
It
funny.
was
I
on
thought
the
it was
name
quite funny,
It was
you know.
hilarious. Yeah.
But look, Supreme Leader not because they respected me or anything like that. It's because they felt like I was like Kim Jong Un.
Yeah.
I was a dictator.
Yeah, more dictator than supreme leader. Yes.
Yeah,
Why
so funny.
did people start doing this?
I think, if you ask that question and why did he do it and who was responsible
Yeah.
for it, right? I think, number one, two parties to blame. Number one is the companies, and the other one are the people themselves, the individuals. So if you look at individuals, everyone's looking for that career progression. And one of the most outward signs of career progression is that your job title gets bigger and bigger and bigger.
Yeah. Okay.
So they want to get there fast. So they tell the bosses, hey, I need this job title. Or when they apply for a new job, they say, I want to have this job title.
right.
Can you give it to me?
Right.
And the company is thinking, no harm, doesn't really bug me. Okay, I'll give you the manager or the executive. The manager or the director title. And the employee's happy, join your company.
Yeah.
And on the other hand, you got companies who want to attract talent. So they start giving out titles as well. And especially some companies who cannot afford to pay as much as you like them to pay. So then I can't pay you much, but I'll give you this VP title anyway. To the point where it becomes almost meaningless. Like seriously, like in I know I'm gonna get a lot of hate mail from bankers, but AVP, everyone's there in the branch is
Everyone
AVP.
is
But if you
AVP,
look at the
yeah.
word VP is like VP, vice president, the one who's
How many
next-
vice presidents are there?
Yeah, and how many presidents are there?
Yeah.
Because if they have like 5 AVPs, are they AVPs to 1 vice president, or are they 5 AVPs to 5 vice presidents?
And then you
if
have a senior president after that.
Right? Yeah. No.
Yeah.
Then you have the VP after that.
Oh
and
my
yeah,
goodness, yeah.
And then you have the
Remember
senior
in our
vice
previous company, how many AVPs did we
A
have?
lot.
Every ex-DJ who moved up to management,
Yeah.
before long became an AVP.
What, assistant vice president?
Assistant Vice President.
Of what?
Yeah.
Of
Of
who?
radio.
Oh,
Radio.
wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
But were they getting paid?
Was
like
there
more?
one VP?
No, there were like three VPs.
Oh, really?
Three
There were,
VPs.
okay.
At that time.
Wow.
Two VPs.
Two
I think.
VPs.
And I
okay.
always joke, if there are VPs, then who's the P? Is there even a president of the bank? There's not.
There's no.
No,
Yeah.
There's no
it's an
president.
imaginary- it's your vice
It's true,
president
huh?
to an imaginary
There was no
president.
There was no president.
When it was the CEO,
I mean, I thought it was
vice
CEO, yes.
president. So
CEO or MD.
kind of lost its meaning.
Yeah, it
in
did
a
actually.
way,
Now that
right?
you say
Yeah,
it,
who's the
because there
president?
is no president. They say managing director,
But-
CEO.
But if you stop to think about it, this has been around for years. I can remember the 80s.
Hang
when-
on. Let's
Okay.
go back on it.
I will tell you my memory later.
Oh.
You make me hot. You maniac. You maniac.
Kiss 92 traffic.
Okay, a look out on the MCE towards the AYE. Right after the ECP City entrance, a vehicle has been reported broken down there. So if you spot anything else, please let us know what that is by WhatsApping us 8855-0920.
Good morning, Singapore, and welcome back to The Big Show and The Big Show TV. It is Thursday, the week before, the day before Good Friday.
Yeah.
But we just want to let everyone know that we'll be working tomorrow morning.
Absolutely.
Okay?
So what is
But we're
Thursday
so-
known as the
Holy-
Holy Week?
Maundy
Maundy
Thursday.
Thursday.
Maundy
It's Maundy
Thursday.
Thursday.
And yesterday was?
Ash Wednesday.
Ash
Ash
Wednesday.
Wednesday.
Yes, and then
Maundy
Holy
Thursday.
Saturday.
Yeah.
Holy-
And then...
No, she's like no.
Oh, no?
Cheyenne's
Okay.
like no.
Was
Oh,
a month
Ash
ago? Oh, I'm
Wednesday
sorry.
was a
What's
month
wrong
ago.
with you,
I
Angel?
didn't say that
What's wrong
he
with me?
did.
Sorry.
Oh, my
Ash
goodness.
Wednesday
Adrian,
was
Angel,
before I
same.
left on.
Okay,
Ash Wednesday was
apologies.
before I left
No,
on.
no worries.
Okay, so what was yesterday? Nothing.
Apologies, Mom. I know she's going to scold me for this. So
Yes,
So
Today?
you have Maundy Thursday, you have Good Friday, you have Holy Saturday, and then you have Easter, and then Easter Monday.
yeah.
Oh, Easter and then Easter Monday.
Easter Monday is not a religious thing.
No, but it's a bank holiday in the UK
In
and
the UK.
Europe and all that.
Yesterday
How come
was-
we don't get a bank
We
holiday?
used to have it.
What Cheyenne? What's
Cheyenne.
Wednesday?
Yesterday was Spy Wednesday.
Spy Wednesday.
SPY?
Yes, Spy Wednesday.
Spy Wednesday.
It's the day that like Judas betrays Jesus.
Oh,
Yeah.
so
I thought it
Judas
was like
was
James Bond
the
Wednesday.
spy.
See, this is terrible. No, my age, and she knows more about
Oh,
the Bible.
she
than-
Yeah,
Googled
but
it.
I have to say this is the first time I've
I've
heard
never
of
heard-
Spy Wednesday.
Yeah,
Is it a new thing? Is it a new thing? Because
No, it's not
because
a new thing.
yeah, my mom was telling me yesterday that it was called Spy Wednesday, and I thought she was joking.
Oh,
There you
really?
go, you see?
There you go.
Okay.
The more
I thought she was joking. She said Spy Wednesday. It's like
Yeah,
the
so-
Catholics who are into the religion a little bit more than
So, yeah.
some of us
So that means yesterday
will know
was
these things.
Yesterday was the day that Judas did the deal.
Yes,
Which-
yes.
I guess.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Okay,
Anyway,
we'll go
Spy
to-
Wednesday.
Anyway,
We'll go
you
to-
were
Hope some of
speaking.
you watched your James Bond movies yesterday.
Yes, FD.
Angel was saying that Easter Monday is a holiday in the UK. And that reminds me, this whole title inflation thing. If you go back even to the 80s, and I can remember this, the multinationals that came out of the UK would send people to Singapore, right? A guy who was sales manager in the UK would come to Singapore and be sales director. He'd work here for 4 or 5 years. He'd go back to the UK and he's back to sales manager.
Because when he comes to Singapore, sales, because he's going to be paid more. Maybe he needs to justify.
I don't know, but the
the
title
salary.
inflation was started there, didn't it?
yeah, and we see a lot of that happening in the old days, and even nowadays. And it's and the question is when they do go back, what title do they bring back home? You see, so they probably bring back another even more inflated title. So we don't really know.
Oh.
That's why titles are titles. If you ask
Yeah.
me, titles are just titles, and there are different types of titles. There are internal titles and external titles.
Explain.
So you could, for instance, you could be a man. Your salary banding. Some companies are very strict. If your salary is this level, maybe about 8K, you cannot be a director in a company
Right.
because that level is or VP because that level is reserved for the 12K and up to 15K band, supposing.
Okay.
Oh, right,
So,
okay.
so no matter what you internally, we cannot put your job title as director, but because you're going out to the market to talk to customers, they might give you an external job title. So on your name card, it says
External job title?
Yeah, so a customer-facing job title. So on your name card, you can put business development director.
Right.
But internally, you're just a manager level.
That's deceit.
Wow.
That's lying.
Some companies do that.
But okay, speaking of director, Ray messaged in on our WhatsApp and he says, I have a friend who once told me he was a director in his company. I congratulated him and asked him how big his company was. He replied, 3 or 4 people only, something like that. And he gulped and kept quiet.
Oh.
But it happens, right?
And the 3 or 4 people is his mom, his aunt.
No, but you cannot miniaturize that because people who start companies are directors anyway. On Accra, you are a director of the
that's
company,
interesting.
right?
So 2 things. Number 1 is, I think, you can always start your $2 company or
Yeah.
your whatever company and name yourself whatever. I'm the CEO, right? So
Yes, exactly.
I know
You can give yourself anything you want.
I know Yen's laughing at me now, but it's the CEO, so you can give anything you want title, right? But the other thing that's interesting is this: a director, right, actually has fiduciary duties. So
Yeah.
you've got director duties and everything.
Yes.
Remember?
Right.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
So a director of a company is a director. It's not just a job title; it's a role.
Yeah.
It's an official
It's
legal
an official
role.
legal role.
Yeah.
That's why when you got American companies like GE, General Electric, GE Plastics, GE, the whole company, you cannot use the word director in your job title. Use the word leader because the word director actually has
Oh,
legal
right.
ramifications. So when I was in
Oh.
GE, you cannot have a word director. Everyone's a leader there.
Oh,
So
right,
do you have to
okay.
put a word before director or just director? Because
No,
to
just
be a bit more
director.
specific.
Well,
No,
when there are
I
these
don't
people
think
who are
so.
like marketing directors and like sales directors.
They're not
and
directors,
HR
directors.
They're not legal.
They're not legally directors.
So if the company gets into trouble, they're not held responsible.
Yes.
But the director under like Accra and stuff like that,
Yeah.
Yes.
that is your.
But what I mean is
fiduciary.
it necessary to put like a word before director, like marketing director or
No, just put director. Movie director. It's like
well,
I direct
See,
direct
it's
traffic, so I'm a
interesting.
director.
Wait, just hang on. Do you know someone who starts with a name with a W
Sorry.
in your family?
No.
Because somebody goes, "Ha ha, Adrian, I'm going to tell Tai."
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah. It must have been
Like,
about
yes,
the
yes.
Spy Wednesday.
Spy listens to this all the time. So my mom listens to it.
okay, let's continue to talk to Adrian on the Big Show TV. It's 8:16.
Kiss 92 Time Check brought to you by Putiet.
Who's W though?
Oh, I'm gonna be in trouble.
Who's W though?
He's not going to reveal it here.
It's just W.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm gonna be in trouble.
You're going to be in trouble with your mom.
Okay, so we're talking about like inflated titles
Titles.
and stuff like that, out there. So are you saying, Adrian, that for, let's say, if we come across a whole bunch of people, with all these titles that they don't deserve in one company, that affects the credibility of that company?
It all depends also. I mean, as I was saying, especially if you're looking at the director title itself, in the old days it used to be something really big.
Yeah.
Nowadays and that's the result of title inflation. It cheapens everything. And sorry, and there are very serious ramifications if you put the word director there and then you go to market, tell people, I'm a director of this company. And if people mistake you for a real director of the company, then there could be some miscommunication.
Right.
I have to reiterate how serious it is to be a director. Like right now, there's a company out there that's all the directors are being arrested and caught life, I think. There's a case going on now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's how serious a director's duties are because you
Right.
can be legally, you can be
Yeah.
liable, financially and personally liable for any
Misdoings.
misdoings.
Because the directors are the ones who approve.
Yes.
Yeah.
They have the final say.
Yeah.
And so if anything
Technically,
goes
yeah.
wrong,
Yeah.
of course, they are the ones who will be looked at.
Yeah.
Yes, correct.
Yeah.
So there's a
Absolutely.
certain responsibility.
Someone has messaged in saying director for a company does not have liability for private limited organizations. It's mostly sole.
True.
What do you call it? Sole
Sole
propriety.
proprietorship. Yes.
There are a lot of foreign entities that appoint a local director who has 0 shares in the company and is actually an employee if the foreign entity with foreign shareholders. This is from James.
Yeah, James, yes and no, because even though you're not a shareholder, if you're a named director, you're still responsible for any misdoings that happen.
Which means you'll go to jail.
Even if I don't physically have shares in the company.
Yes. So
No, but actually, I have heard that for private limited, you can't be held.
It's not. You're not personally liable for any loans or anything, but it could be trial. So I had this client. This was way back when, and her company is foreign owned, And her boss asked her to be a local director. And then she said, okay, fine. She didn't ask for extra money. She said, okay, I'll just be named as the director because I want to have the word director on my, right? And the company folded. In fact, the boss left a huge ton of debt. And everything, and she was, as a director, she had to unwind everything.
Oh my goodness.
And it was the worst 6 months of her life because she had creditors coming after her.
Correct.
Okay.
Because you're the director. The whole
Correct.
company has gone off. You got 16 staff.
Who do they look for?
Yeah.
You.
The 16
You are the
staff
director.
who are owed 3 months of salary, knocking at her door in her home.
Oh no.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, and she said, but I'm not the shareholder. I don't have any money.
yeah, there's a difference between shareholder and director.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm not shareholder. Even if I was, but she was, because she was the director, she was fronting the whole thing. So there are risks involved. It may not be monetary or liability wise, because private limited, your company limited by shares.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
But there are other repercussions if you are not careful. That can come.
Particularly if it is something criminal.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Yeah.
So what this owner of the company did was he actually flushed out all the money from the bank and left a huge pile of debt behind.
Went to the Caribbean and sat on the beach or something.
Yeah,
probably.
and it was nasty for her. It was
Of
very terrible.
course,
So,
yeah.
So even if your boss asks you, hey, can I make you the director? Don't go like, yeah, what promotion? It's not. In fact, what we actually recommend is, you want to make me the director, you actually got to pay me director's fee.
Yeah.
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 You got to pay me director's fee because there are risks involved.
Yeah.
Of course, yeah.
So
yeah.
And I'm not going to take on extra risk without.
Some
What should
form
people
of
be
review.
asking for, though, if they're asked to be directors, like in terms of fees? I know it's all relative and depends and this and that, but I mean, what is a director's fee?
I have no idea. I mean, I have
Okay.
some ideas, but it ranges.
It ranges, right? Yeah.
If it's a small token fee, it's possible. I know if you're director of a public listed board, now there's a
Yeah.
lot more money involved because there's a lot more risk involved as well. So
So it's not all roses, right? You got to think of the risk that's
No,
involved.
yeah.
That's not the money.
yeah.
Yeah.
But if you are asked to be on the board of a really big company and everything, that's all quite legit. I think it's a privilege. It's great because you're basically being paid to just sit there
Yeah.
Yeah.
once a month, maybe once a quarter, 10
Just
a
take
The
meeting.
AGM and all that.
$5,000.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if can you imagine if you're on the board of like 10 companies, that's
Well,
you're covered.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
in all reality, the money is more than $5,000.
How much are you
Yeah,
getting,
yeah.
FD?
It's
It's trade secrets, you can
Yeah.
tell you.
Is it so you're a director also in your company, right?
yes, of course.
And of course,
You
you got a
actually look
board
like
seat
a
as well.
director, actually.
So it's
You have the director look.
Oh, I do. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah.
Thank you very much. Yes.
so that's why it's the title. Sometimes it's a role, and if you have that title very flippantly, yeah. So if any of our listeners out there, if you are being asked to be a director of the company or local director, just be very mindful that there are risks involved. Go talk to a lawyer, and you can always say no. You can always say no because there are risks involved. No
Yeah.
matter how big the company is, there are risks involved.
Yeah.
Especially if they say they're not going to pay you for your troubles, right? That's
Yeah.
going to give you the
No.
title and print it on the name card.
Yeah, and I know some individuals who have been approached with a job role in hand from companies in China, and say they want to set up a private limited firm in Singapore, and they want to appoint you a director.
Yeah.
And you look at the website of the company, it's like really shady looking. Be very careful.
Be careful. Yeah.
Yeah, be very careful because it doesn't hurt to be extra judicious when it comes to.
But you can also like pay $5 and do a search on Accra and see
Yes.
what who's behind the company,
Yeah.
who the shares belong to, when they set up, because you need to do your due diligence as well,
exactly,
right?
exactly. So, but sometimes the parent company is in China.
Yeah, and in all reality, a lot of people get so drawn into this fact of, they want me to be a director. They don't do enough checking.
Yeah.
They get drawn into it, and
Yeah.
then they end
Actually, I
up.
feel like, if you're working for a small company and you're a director, just let it slide. It's like, if you're working for a big company
No,
and
but
you're
I-
a director, then you are a real director.
But I think with any company, you need to still do your research,
Yeah,
and
you
just
do.
be careful.
Yeah.
Because there are a lot of shell companies as well.
Yeah.
There are a lot of companies that are just set up to launder money as well.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
and we've seen a lot of it in the news as well recently.
Yeah.
But Adrian, in general, when we go out, I think this applies to everyone. And someone gives us their card, and we know it's a startup
BS.
or a small company or whatever, and you're a director or CEO. We don't quite feel that that prestige. You know what I mean? I mean, it's a
Yeah,
personal thing. You know what I mean?
It's true.
But then, of course, I mean, if you're working for a big company
yeah.
and
Of
suddenly you
course.
see the card, you're director or managing director or whatever,
Yeah.
then, I mean, then we'll feel something. We've met so many people
Yeah,
along
yeah,
the way
it's
over
true.
the years,
It's true.
right? You
Yeah.
know, so
Yeah, that's true lah. I mean, the prestige behind the company and
Yeah.
the brand. And then the other question is this: some titles are very arbitrary. So, for instance, who's more senior, a GM or a director,
I would
Director.
say.
or a VP, or an MD?
Nowadays,
I was-
I don't know.
Too many.
I would say
I don't know.
I would say director and MD are up there.
Okay, I guess director, then you're managing director, so you're the person who's managing the
But director, I always see as like the owner of the company.
Yeah,
Only
but-
because Accra says it's director.
Yeah, but
you
that's
don't
not
put
the case,
managing
though.
director though.
That's not the case. You have a sales director, you have a
No,
marketing
but no,
director.
You got a
take-
funeral director?
Take away, take away the front of the name, as in director of the company. I'm talking about at the top, not sales,
But
marketing,
you see a name card.
administration.
You see a name card. So I've seen.
Okay, traffic.
You got a music director?
This is true. Program director.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sometimes we never go out of style. We never go out of style.
Kiss 92 traffic.
On the PIE towards Changi Airport at the KPE exit, an accident has just been reported. Look out for that. And on the ECP towards the airport as well, after the Fort Road exit, a vehicle's broken down. Wherever you are today, stay safe.
Welcome back to The Big Show and The Big Show TV. Our guest for today is the founder at Career Agility International, Adrian Choo. Good morning, Adrian.
Good
We have got
morning.
such an interesting question from Ashley on our Facebook. Other than director, she's asking you, Adrian, are there other common types of title inflation and what are their risks? Other than the word director, because we're harping on director. But other than that,
No, we mentioned manager as well.
manager. It could be VP. It could
their
be anything.
risk.
And then there's the not just the title, but there's the prefix. Senior,
Yes.
senior manager,
Assistant.
a senior assistant. I've
Senior
seen,
assistant
I've seen
manager.
senior assistant manager.
That's a
before.
Sam.
That's a Sam.
Senior
and
assistant
Yen was telling me the other day she saw someone whose title was senior assistant director, which was sad.
Senior
Assistant
oh,
Director.
God.
Which was
What's
sad.
that?
SAD, right? Sad.
Oh, sad.
It was
yeah.
really sad.
Oh, dear.
So, like my title is senior presenter, right? And then FD is also senior presenter.
But that's experience.
But then
actually.
FD should be more senior presenter.
Senior presenter.
presenter. So,
Extra senior presenter.
so where does
Old
where does the-
presenter.
The OG presenter.
OG presenter.
Actually, like Tom Cruise, I don't need these titles.
Yeah,
Do you guys watch Top Gun, the latest?
Of course.
Yeah,
Top Gun
yeah,
Maverick. Yeah.
Remember?
Yeah.
And then he was being told off by one of his superiors.
Yeah.
It's like, you know
Ed
what?
Harris,
You're
yeah.
captain.
Yeah, exactly.
You're captain after all these years. You should be a full colonel by
Yeah.
now. But you're a captain. And he's like,
Well,
I don't
and
know.
I think
as long as I fly my planes, I'm happy, right?
yeah, right?
One alone
So-
says I should be emeritus. presenter.
Emeritus presenter. Oh my
Hey,
god.
no, cannot be. Emeritus means you're no longer presenting.
No,
Emeritus
no,
means
yes.
past,
Yes,
so you're
past.
not. You're still there.
So what are you trying to say?
Get out. That's what he's trying to
Bloody
say.
hell.
But
And travel the world.
Adrian, what are your thoughts on newfangled designations? Because there are lots of new ones out there.
yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
there's chief fun officer instead of like marketing. There's director of fun, which is director of marketing. They also
it's a lot. No, I actually had
Hey,
a
director of what?
Fun.
FUN.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
director
yeah.
of fun, which is director of marketing, because you handle all the marketing aspects, the advertising, and you create your brand to be fun
So-
for people to
But
buy
it's so
into,
hard
right?
for the marketing director, though.
To be fun all the time.
As in, like, there's so much pressure on the marketing director, right?
Yeah.
So okay, let's just have a fun one. So these are called brand
Yeah.
euphemisms. Okay, I mean they are just titles like the sanitation engineer is the guy who cleans the toilet.
The janitor.
Yes, yes, yes,
right?
yeah,
So,
yeah.
so okay, I've got some here. Okay, you guess what the real job is? Okay.
Okay.
Happiness hero.
Director
real.
of marketing.
Real.
No.
Not real.
Happiness
Okay.
hero.
Happiness hero.
I
what
will
job?
say mental wellness.
You think, right?
Yeah.
Or
What is
HR.
it?
I don't know if HR brings happiness.
No, way.
I'm sorry, HR guys, but no, it's customer service operative.
Oh.
Oh my
Customer service person.
well, customer
happiness
service.
to make the customers happy. So
Okay.
some companies do that.
Okay.
There's one which is word wizard.
What was it?
Copywriter.
Copywriter.
Copywriter. Yeah.
Then you've got chief troublemaker. It's another job
HR.
title.
No.
You're on your own. Adrian.
No, an analyst
Later
of
they'll
some
send you an
kind.
email. for sure.
CEO.
Chief troublemaker.
Yeah, he calls himself a chief
Oh.
troublemaker because he makes trouble for the market, for whatever.
Oh,
Just,
oh,
one of
like
those,
disruptor.
yeah,
Like a
disruptor.
disruptor.
And then
Okay.
there's a title of techno evangelist.
Technical.
Techno evangelist.
Which
This must
would be the tech guy.
CTO lah.
The CTO.
CTO.
Chief
Yeah,
Technical
yeah.
Officer.
So these are all inflated titles, make-believe titles, which can introduce some degree of fun. But to answer, I think it was Ash was asking
yeah.
the question. There are implications to title inflation, and we're gonna talk about it once we go off air again.
Right. All these
Okay.
fun titles are actually the rest of the company. Everyone doesn't care.
Yeah.
All they care is a little bit of money,
I
a little
agree.
bit more
I
money, that
agree.
kind of thing. Right?
I agree.
Okay, anyway, Ariana Grande is next. We Can't Be Friends on Kiss 92.
I didn't think
It's like fun for who? Fun for who? Before,
Exactly.
in our ex company and all that, it's like, oh, every month, everyone gets an ice cream.
Oh.
I'm like,
Wow.
what?
Oh. What's
And
that
if you were
supposed to do?
really good,
Oh,
you got
we
a
have enough
burger.
fat people in this company
wow.
already.
No,
What-
no
what-
lollipops and candy floss?
Oh, God.
Serious?
burger.
You're not kidding?
No, we're
That was the
talking fast food
incentive?
burger
What's that?
vouchers.
Serious? You get ice
The-
cream at
Ice cream, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah,
said
every
burgers
month.
as
And
well.
burger
Wow.
vouchers.
Correct.
Wow.
I don't know about the burger part. I don't remember, but I
Yeah,
remember
I-
the ice cream thing, and I'm like,
I got burger vouchers.
Really?
once.
well, of course, when the CEO at that time makes it a big deal, everyone's got to go like, wow, so much fun, ice cream. Nah, I don't want to
Yeah,
get fat.
yeah.
Pass it to somebody else.
Once a month is not going to get you fat.
I know, right?
How about
So,
how about instead of the ice cream, everyone gets an ang pao or something? You know?
Save your money and give us money
because
instead.
your ice cream is like $2 and your ang pao is to be at least $50.
That
right?
is true.
that's why-
That
It's
is
always
true.
easier to buy a gift than give money, right?
Yes, that's why you can expense it. So, how does it affect your career? As a headhunter / career coach, from my experience, I've seen that some people seem to have a very meteoric rise in their career and job titles. And those people normally get my attention. If they're really good, maybe they got it. But when you talk to them and you realize that it's just job title inflation.
Them given their own titles or?
Oh, no, the company's
other
given them.
company,
You're
right?
giving them the titles. And then you look at them, you talk to them, it's like, you're not talking like a VP. You're not talking like someone who's that
Oh my
senior.
God.
Right.
You don't have the technical expertise.
I've met those people.
Yeah. And you know, it's just hot air. Then I have that inflated opinion of you. I talk to you, and then it goes, you get deflated very quickly. And I form a very poor impression. So it's a lot of times it's impression management. And it could affect you. But imagine if you're a 32-year-old VP, okay? And you want to look for a job, what's the next title?
Yeah.
Out there in the real market, you're only manager level.
Yeah.
And then you decide you go out, your company retrenches you, and you go out to the field, and you get a job that's manager. And then everyone's going to look at you, oh, this guy got demoted.
Yeah.
This guy
Yeah.
got demoted.
And also on your resume.
Yeah,
Because you go
exactly.
from AVP to like
VP, and then you go straight to manager.
down to manager or
Yeah.
something like that.
So, which is not fair because this person didn't really get demoted, just that his title got a bit deflated on the way.
His
For
title
now.
became more real.
Yeah, became more real
Yeah.
for now to match the level he's at. So sometimes having too fast of a job title inflation can hurt you in the longer run in terms of your branding, your positioning, and even your salary level in the market. Because if I'm doing a headhunting, if I'm looking for talent right now for VP, and then I look at your profile, I see this person maybe I've got a role for VP. Okay, and I'm looking around, and I see this person. Why I started SVP already? You know, he probably won't want to take a step down, and it's the perfect role for you. I'm going to look at your profile and go, nah, he's not gonna be interested in this.
it's like
Right.
overqualified
Yeah,
or
so I'm
something.
just going to
yeah.
give him a
So are you
miss.
saying some people should turn it down? Let's say if you go to a company and they want to offer you this title, right? AVP or whatever, right? Can you turn it down? Can you be like Tom Cruise, Maverick, and,
I don't want
you
it.
know,
I don't
and
want
just go like, no, I don't want it.
I think once again, it's strategic. Because sometimes you get a job title that you don't want. For instance, it's like if I want to reposition myself from marketing to becoming sales, And then you're going to give me, I'm a director of marketing now, you're going to give me a senior director of marketing or VP of marketing. But I know it's going to bring me away from what I want to be, which is sales. Then I'll say that, no, I if you want to give this new job is a bit sales oriented, I would rather have a job title which says sales rather than SVP of marketing again.
Sales
once again,
director or
it all
something, yeah.
depends. So sometimes you want to take it, sometimes you want to take a step back. Other times, if it's given and you see there's no harm in it, then go for it. But if it's too fancy, senior, super senior, VP or whatever it is, then you might want to be careful.
So I go out and I network quite a bit, and I get a lot of name cards. So you're saying that if I receive name cards that say like SVP and this person is like 12, I shouldn't laugh at them, right? I should because it's the problem with the company. It's not them. They've been given those roles. Because I have seen like literal children that are directors or VPs, and I look at it and like you want to laugh because you think, yeah, right, you are
Yeah,
that.
right, yeah.
But then it's been given to them, so it's not their fault.
By their mummies and daddies who own
No,
the
but
company.
not always though. No, some are global companies.
But
that I've
some of them might really be capable.
Yes.
I mean,
Some
we
might
can't
be-
write
yeah.
that
No,
possibility
I'm talking about the
off,
ones that don't
And of
look
course, I mean,
capable at
Angel
all.
was what you call exaggerating.
When I
She
said
was
12,
probably
yes.
12,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
I know.
Many a time they're in their mid-20s. They're
Yes.
just really, really young. But I do believe that some of them have like really good ideas.
I'm not
Of
saying
course.
I'm not saying all. I'm saying that there are some that you know are not qualified for those roles. Those are the
How
ones
would you
I'm
know
talking.
them?
No, because you might know them personally, or you might
because of the way
And-
they speak.
Yeah,
No,
some-
don't.
sometimes-
Let's not dig
No,
into
but
it. But I'm
sometimes,
just
sometimes
saying.
it's like that, right? Sometimes people
You can
you
tell,
speak
yeah.
to someone, the person,
Doesn't
not a very
quite-
good conversationalist or doesn't speak, very good English, and some people write them off straight.
No,
I'm not
I
saying
don't
I'm not
know.
saying you
Yeah, yeah.
you do,
Yeah.
but how important is that? Presenting yourself, being able to speak well to other people. Because there's some people who just are bullshitting.
And
you
it's
have
not
to be-
about English. It's about also what's up
It's
here.
up-
You can
it's
tell
in your mind.
You
what's
can
in
tell
your brain.
from their eyes as well whether how sharp they are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not the power of the language. There are not a lot of people.
But I
that
see
will
some
speak with
people's
English.
faces sometimes. When we go to events and someone doesn't speak properly,
Yeah,
and
then you're
straight
like-
away it's like they lose respect for this person.
Yeah.
But that's unfair.
I think it's unfair. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but I sometimes these titles aren't they just given to people to help open doors?
Yes. So if you're external facing, sometimes you want to have that job, because sometimes if you go to a client and I'm a business development manager, they say you come back with your director and talk to me. The CEO may not want to talk to a manager. He will talk to a peer. So that's where it's important to have sometimes an external facing, once again external title,
Yeah.
on a name card.
It's like, hang on, I go out the door, I change my name card.
Director,
I'm the director.
I just got promoted. I just said to my boss.
Give me a
just like
minute.
this. So you're right. So sometimes it does open doors.
Yeah, it is used for that.
Yeah. But once again, as I said earlier, who's more senior? A GM, a MD, a VP? It's like playing a game of chess.
GM, MD, VP. That's right.
Nowadays, I wouldn't even know.
Yeah, and because I don't know, GM, MD, I've no disrespect to anyone. I feel like MD is like the managing director. And then you hear the general manager. They both kind of have like the same
So once
meaning,
again, the answer,
you know?
answer is it depends. Because I've seen MDs report to a GM before.
Oh.
Because MDs,
Really?
you're the MD of this division, you're the MD of this division, but I'm the general manager. I manage all these divisions.
The general.
So I'm
Wow.
a general manager.
Actually,
Wow.
GM should be the strongest.
I don't know. That's
know.
the
Because
thing.
you are
It's so-
managing.
It's very confusing.
I know that when I first heard managing director, I thought he was the manager of all the directors.
Yeah. But
Oh, really?
that sounds like it, right?
MD versus
Yeah.
GM.
So it's company specific. Some companies
Yeah.
like the title GM, MD. What is it? What is
So on Google says a managing director is a senior level partner that works directly with the CEO. A general manager works closely with their team or department.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
There
So
you
that
go.
means
Yeah.
the GM is much lower.
So technically,
Not
a
much,
GM,
but
GM
the
is technically
GM.
lower.
much
I
lower.
love the-
Not much.
Much lower.
Don't say
much
much.
lower.
But I've
Put a
seen-
Yeah, the
needle
people
in
who are
there.
working here at SPH are all listening to you right now.
Yeah, put a needle in there.
But and
So
yet,
who's the GM?
and yet I've
Who
seen,
is the GM?
and yet I've seen GMs, MDs reporting to GMs. So it's so that's why the bottom line
The
is this.
structure.
Titles, frightles.
Yeah.
What does it matter at the end of the day, right?
I want to ask you how. Okay, maybe I'll ask it on air.
On air.
Yeah.
Stand by.
good.
Kiss 92 traffic.
Besides all the heavy traffic out there, do look out on the PIE towards the airport at the KPE exit for an accident situation. Wherever you are this Thursday, stay safe.
Good morning. We were with Adrian Choo from Career Agility International. You can get in touch with him at
Info at
careeragility.org.
Okay, Adrian, I just wanted to ask you, we're talking about designations, we're talking about inflated job titles, which brings me to the question, name cards. Are they still relevant slash important?
Yeah.
You know, are they?
Do you guys... Okay, let's ask FD. Do you give out name cards at events or...
I think for the three of us sitting in this
I
room,
don't.
it's a very different situation because we are known
Yeah.
people. But when I meet someone, particularly someone I'm interested in,
Yeah.
I want that information.
Yeah.
So I want that name card.
But can you take that information digitally, or would you rather
If
a name
it's
card?
offered, I will take it. But the name card is a lot easier for me.
And you keep it.
And I keep it. I file it. I keep it.
You file it. Wow. I
file
used to
it.
have
Very-
Rolodex.
Man.
I used
Oh,
to
the
have the flip
Rolodex.
Rolodex.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know?
Well, I've
Too
got a
many
system
lah.
that's
Too many,
almost
yeah,
like
exactly.
that. got
I've
a
thrown
system
all
almost
the
like
cards away.
Yeah. So have I. So have I.
So what nowadays, getting name cards and giving out name cards is a bit old school.
that. It is.
It is, right?
school.
Because they're doing everything. Everyone's doing digital now.
Yeah.
So what we normally do is, can I connect to you on LinkedIn?
Yes.
And I just connect you on LinkedIn, your contacts and everything in there.
And LinkedIn is so easy now. You just go to your LinkedIn app. There is
Yeah.
a QR code you can scan.
You can scan each
So
other.
it's literally like your name card.
Yeah.
You know, there's
Yeah.
no
It's
excuse.
very true.
And it's environmentally friendly as well. You
It
don't-
is.
Yeah.
And honestly, I've nowhere to keep the name cards.
Yeah.
So when I get a name card, I normally I'll keep it. I won't decline it because it's rude.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Right? So I'll keep it. I'll take a note of it. I might scan it.
Yeah.
Take a photo of it.
And then throw it away.
And it goes into the
The bin.
mysterious ether
The
of my room.
abyss of name
Abyss
cards.
of- abyss of name, where all used old name cards go to die. I have no
Yes.
idea what. Where is
Actually,
What do you
yeah,
do with
actually,
them?
someone
Yeah.
should think up, right? What can we do with the old name cards? You know, to make it
To turn them into something? I
Yeah.
don't know
You
what.
just recycle the paper. You can recycle a name
says the
card.
person who can't even.
No, what do you mean? What do you mean by
see
recycle a
words
name
on-
card? Put it in a bin that recycles.
And you turn it to pulp and you start all over again.
I don't know if it's that easy though. But who's doing it?
Yeah.
It should be done, is what I'm saying.
should.
Oh, wait. This is your idea.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
not like
Idea.
you're doing
No,
it.
no,
Oh,
it's
my
an idea.
goodness.
So
Yeah.
last- so-
For a
let me
moment
tell
there, I
you
was like, wow, FD.
Glenn, let's tell you something funny. So last year, as we were moving office, I was clearing out my desk, all my old name cards in a box.
Okay.
Okay, I was looking through the name cards, and I was thinking, this guy isn't working there anymore. This guy isn't working there. So what's the point, right? The numbers may not follow.
Yes.
the person, so
Exactly.
what's the point? LinkedIn, however, follows through. But I found this name card, which the phone number so old. The phone number had 6 digits.
I was going to say, was it when postal codes were 2 numbers?
That's why it's so useless, right? I mean,
Yeah.
you keep it, but after a while, you don't even
It's
know
not
if they're
accurate.
still there.
It's not
Yeah,
accurate.
you've got the name. You're like, oh, I wonder what happened to John Lim.
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh, there's no +65 in front of his number. Must be old.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
and
yeah,
they
yeah.
don't have the
And then
same.
you find out from someone he's dead.
Oh no, it's possible as well. It's
Glenn!
possible. No, it's possible.
Okay.
It's right.
Anyways, okay. Lauv is next, and Lauv is going to
Coming
be in
to
town,
town,
yeah,
yeah.
Yeah.
for the Live Golf. I think he's going to be performing at Palawan, if I'm not mistaken.
Right.
I will give you more details on that as the weeks go by. Meantime, here he is with Troy Sivan. I'm so tired on Kiss 92. Okay.
Okay. Interesting though, but name cards. What do we do with them, and are they still relevant now?
I would like to ask our listeners out there whether they still receive
Print
and give.
Yeah,
I don't have a name card now. We have stopped
I don't
making
have a
name
name
cards.
card.
Yeah.
Yeah. SPH has stopped making name cards. They're
Yeah,
all e-cards as
everything's
well.
e-cards, yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't given out what do you call it, a name card in a
Ages.
long time.
Marja says title inflation is supposed to cover up a lack of real career progression opportunities in an organization. When you can't give people something that is meaningful, then you just add a senior in front of their title.
Wow.
That's sad though.
That's sad. That's very sad.
True. We've seen that happen a lot.
So it's like, I can't increase your pay, but I can increase your title. Right? Will
Yeah.
you take it?
And
And-
when I increase your title, I increase your KPIs.
Yeah, increase your
Yeah.
responsibilities. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
the bottom line is, I'm not increasing your pay. You know?
Yeah.
I'm increasing your title. I'm making you a big shot.
That's your
I'm increasing your KPIs, but your salary is staying where it is.
and that's your drive promotion
Yeah,
there.
yeah, right there.
Dry promotion.
We were talking
But
about
putting a senior in front, it doesn't make you feel any.
Just makes you feel older,
it.
right?
Actually, I would.
Yeah, more
Yeah.
experience.
Yeah.
What,
I'm still presenter. I'm glad I'm not senior presenter. It's fine. It says nothing about my capabilities.
Yeah, that's true, isn't it? It makes you feel older. It's
It
like
does.
senior.
Yeah. I've been here so long.
Actually, it's very interesting that you all say that because it does not make me feel older. It makes me feel more experienced. It makes me feel that I have a responsibility to answer questions asked by younger people.
But you are not your title, though. You know what I mean? Your
but
title
this-
doesn't
this
define
how-
you.
This is how it makes
You
me feel.
right?
So I don't feel old because of it. But I
don't
feel
like-
I feel I have more responsibility.
I don't think
because-
much of it, quite frankly.
Yeah.
Like senior, but like for FD, I feel like it suits him more if you call him like a senior presenter. You know what I mean? Like, just like senior minister,
Citizen.
right? Before we had like senior ministers and all that,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And then minister,
Senior, yeah,
minister
transport
mentor and,
minister,
yeah, all
minister
that.
Yeah.
mentor.
Maybe that's the idea.
Emeritus.
Is that the idea?
Don't know.
Maybe now we're like senior ministers already.
We're like senior men. You and I are senior.
Yeah,
Are your
because-
pay is reflecting it, though? Ah, that's something to think
Don't
about.
try and trick us right now by making us reveal.
I'm not. I'm
Yeah.
not.
Remember that
I
it-
never.
Very tricky.
No, I never ask people what
Especially
they
since
earn. Never.
since
Yeah.
it's tax season, you don't want him talking about
It's
salary.
tax.
Just remember, if you're ever going to buy landed property, you have to be transparent.
Wait, hold on.
What?
So, have you all submitted your tax forms already?
Yeah, April what? 15th, right?
15th,
Yeah.
Is the date?
I did it really early, man.
Yeah.
Oh wow, good for you.
Yeah,
And it's so easy to do.
Yeah, it is.
So easy to do.
Yeah.
Tick a couple of boxes, you're done.
that's
Yeah.
true.
It's very simple.
Okay. Only some people might have
Have
like
millions and
accountants
millions of
try
dollars
and-
to have to account for as well, right?
That is true, that is true.
Never caught that stage
Okay,
yet.
so anyway, back to the whole title thing. I would rather just radio star.
Really?
Oh, nice.
That
You know
is
what I mean?
so
Rather than
Glenn.
senior
It is.
presenter.
So
Like,
Glenn.
do you want like a gold star next to it? It has to like slightly embossed for a card.
Sure, why
right?
not?
I think so.
Why not?
I think so.
One alumna said some companies need to inflate titles to justify pay increases.
Is that true?
But that's okay, right? No.
I think yeah, that happens because Wong Alun is correct. Because some companies they do have pay banding, salary bandings,
Ah, right. Okay.
and each salary band corresponds to a particular job title.
Then I take it back. I don't mind being senior presenter. then.
There,
That's
there,
okay.
there.
Yeah,
So
yeah. You
sometimes-
make me senior, older, executive, whatever. It's fine.
So sometimes if you're at the upper end of the band, okay, and then you get a 5% increase and it tips you over to the next band, then your title ultimately gets
Changes.
upgraded.
Yeah.
And sometimes it is, and once again, if you talk about these two separate entities, the salary banding and your job title, some companies will attach their perks to the banding. So I can inflate your title whatsoever, but if your banding is still there, you don't get the additional perks. Additional perks could be like some people know if your job group C, you get a $2,000 car allowance. But if you're in a job group D, which is higher, supposing, right, you get a $3,000 car allowance. a
Right.
month.
Right. Okay.
Right.
So sometimes they give you a title, but your banding is not affected. You don't get a car allowance or whatever the perk is, or the
Yeah.
golf club membership, whatever it is.
Yeah.
So what we always tell people is when you are applying for the job at the interview itself, once everything's all clear, they like you, they want to make you an offer, don't just ask about the salary range. What are they going to give you? Ask them what banding is it. I'll try and understand the job grouping. What are the perks involved? And try maybe perhaps if possible, if they can't put you into the next band above, right, where you are, try to get as close to the upper band of where you are as possible. So you negotiate on that basis.
Okay.
Because it could be just in the following year you get nudged up one
And you
rank.
get tipped
Right.
over to the next
And
one.
then you
right?
get that golf membership with or that office with a view or the office with the foot spa. No, just
Yeah,
kidding.
yeah, yeah.
Do
Yeah,
we
right.
have a foot spa in SPA?
I'd like an office with a
No, we
foot
don't.
spa.
spa. Okay. Sounds quite nice though, right? foot
Not
spa.
everyone likes,
Foot massages?
foot massages.
But we like foot
or-
massages. I don't care about
You like
anybody else. Yeah, I love foot massages.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm always speaking for
people feel
myself.
ticklish.
No, I like.
Yeah,
So
me
what-
too. Let's go.
Okay.
I
Angel
bring
is
it to
saying she
my-
wants
Down
to
in
have
the
a
room next.
She wants to have a massage machine here, so as she goes on air, she talks. You can't
Oh
see.
my gosh.
I think FD doesn't like
Yeah,
that.
no,
I
you
like foot massages. Ticklish.
you bought one, I remember. Do you still use that one?
Yeah, it's
It's in the
not
storeroom,
really.
right? Oh, okay.
After a while, it's like, nah, I prefer.
You bought it in the lobby
I prefer
here.
the physical touch.
You bought it here.
Yes.
Yes.
See, we took bets on how long that would
How
last,
long
right?
that
Yeah.
would last.
Actually, I used it for
later I
like.
collect money from you.
I
actually.
used it for like 5 days and I was tired.
There, see?
Oh,
you owe me
owe-
$10 now.
I
Thank
owe
you.
you $10. Sorry about that.
Okay, back on air. Stand by. What's going on with all the songs? I just realized. It's like, earlier on it was break up, never
Yeah.
felt so good. Now it's like stupid in love.
And then before was like, I'm so tired. Also
Yeah.
negative. You're
It's like,
right.
You know
What's
what I mean?
happening?
It's like maybe because they know more people are breaking up, so they need to record songs
For the
that can
breakup people.
relate to these people, so these people can
People are
relate to
going through
songs.
tough
Because sometimes if
times.
you're going through a tough time and then you hear all these soppy love songs,
It
you're like,
doesn't help you.
come on,
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, there's a balance. See,
Okay,
We're
that's a
living in-
reason.
We're living in fantastic times right now where it's all inclusive.
True.
Absolutely.
True.
Brilliant.
Absolutely.
No
True.
complaints there.
No.
All right.
Okay. We're with Adrian Choo from Korea Agility International right here on Kiss 92. You're tuned into The Big Show and The Big Show TV.
Yeah, and we're talking about inflated job titles. So, Adrian, any final words before you head into the long weekend?
Oh, long weekend, wonderful long weekend. Well, I think if your job title is senior enough or nice sounding enough, I think that's fine. But just be mindful that you have you have what it takes to back up that job title. I mean, if you have a VP, if you're a VP, make sure that A, you know your stuff, or B, you like what you mentioned earlier, Glenn. You have that gravitas to match that at least, and not talk like a executive or junior executive. So that's one thing. The other thing is also be mindful if you apply for a job. You see a really, really nice sounding job title in there, and you don't know whether it's an inflated job title or really senior enough. Just be mindful as well. Find out a bit more about the role, because you might think you might be, oh, this is a senior VP role, and it turns out that no, it's just a junior. They just inflated the title
Yeah.
and everything. So it can be deceiving. Just be careful of what you're jumping into. And if your title's already inflated, then you might want to be mindful about not getting further inflated into the next role, and then after a while, what's the next job?
Yeah.
No, it's going to be
Right.
incredible.
Always think about the future and be
The
very
big
careful.
picture, yeah.
Don't just say yes to everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, correct. So
If
there's a lot of
it's-
things that are going on in the background you don't know, so you're going to find out.
Earn your title.
If it's too good to be true, it often is.
Yeah.
Mm.
Very true. Very true.
Very optimistic you are.
I am though.
Okay, thank you so much, Adrian, for joining us as always.
Pleasure as always, and for all our Christian friends out there, happy Resurrection Sunday, and have a good weekend ahead. Bye.
All right, up next, headline news and sports.